All right. Hey guys. I
Can we bring people up on stage with us?
think so. I've never used this before. Can you guys hear us?
I see Alicia, I see Luca, Brendan as well. Um, we can either talk about what we're looking for, or happy to answer question as well. So let's go maybe about the culture we're trying to build. So, um, hey Khaled, um, all our cultures are around the concept of talent density. So at the end of the day, what we want is to have the most talented team possible. I guess a lot of companies are trying to do that as well, but it's really all around that we build our culture. So we'd rather have one person that is really good and pay that person more than having three average. If you want to have really good people in your company, you need to keep good people as well. So we think good people attract other people, and these strong people, they want to have ownership. So they want to be able to take decision. So we try to decentralize as much as possible the decision making. So it's like, if Khaled, you come at plan, we'll expect you to take call, and quite often. Um, on our side, though, to make sure you are able to take those decisions would give you as much visibility as you can. So everything is just fully open book. You have access to our financial, you have access to our board deck. We keep track of every single metric, and you can see if it's going well or not well. And for us, it's just the best way to keep the best people engaged, because they can take the call and have the all the information they need basically to take their decision. Um, Point of culture, it's around energy. So we're looking for high energy people. We really value more the impact that the actual experience. So I've been a really good place for people who start in tech. We've seen people just were out of school and had six promotion in actually 3 years, because they were just having so much impact for the company that we get back to them every 6 months, give them a promotion, give them an increase, give them more ownership, because they were delivering. So for someone who want to prove something, that want to come have an impact, make mistake, we don't mind, honestly, but we just rather you trying something, make a mistake, and move on fast. Um, Last thing is events or event companies. So we do a lot of events. We also give perks, so we can actually try the tool by yourself every year, plan your events. We give $3,000 per year to everyone in the team, so you can plan baby shower, wedding, or any party with your friend. And I would say in terms of the team is quite cool. So it's a nice team. We don't have any gossip, any office politics. We really hope we're going to be able to scale that, but team is really impressive and everybody is really kind. The biggest challenge. So we work with two types of user. The first one is the end user, so person who plan the event. The other one is the person who pays. So usually it's procurement or finance. For the end user, we actually help a lot in the discovery. So let's say if Brendan, you're in charge of planning an event, you will need to find a concept, you'll need to find a space, you'll need to find a caterer. First, you want the event to be good, so you're looking for a new space, something that's just a bit more special. And second, you don't want to fuck up your event. At the end of the day, the executive will be at the event, so you want to make sure to give it a good experience. So we're kind of the end that tell the planner everything will be fine. We're going to help you to find the right suppliers and make sure everything goes smoothly. Then for the finance or procurement, let's say some of our clients are like Big Four. They have 60 event planner all around North America, but they also have 3,000 executive assistant or even salespeople who plan events, and they have no visibility and control over what's happening. So we're able to give back all that visibility control to procurement and finance people, so they can really control the event spend. Khaled, top skill quality you're looking for data analyst. That would be more for you, Tiago, that one.
think to summarize also what Mark said, but mostly in terms of like analytics, I think the most important thing is really someone that can synthesize the data. We have a lot of data from our suppliers, a lot of data from our users as well, But at the same time, it's just like there's so much, right? And there's a lot that you can do with a lot. But the most important thing is to be able to clearly communicate the analysis that you get to all the different departments. Our sales team is heavily relied on the data as well, because we want to be able to see how our clients are actually creating the events and what are some of the insights that we can actually use leveraging the data to make sure that we can actually provide the best value at each stage of the journey for all these users. And basically, just to kind of like, talk a little bit more about some of the other questions that are popping up in terms of like, what is the unique selling point of the product? The most important thing, honestly, and this is something that we want to double down on, is we want to bring people together in a way that's like smooth, streamlined, easy. And most importantly, we want, just like Canva makes everyone feel like they're designers, we want everyone to feel like they're event planners. The moment you think about an event, you never really think about all the process that you're going to go through when putting together the event, but you're always going to think about how amazing you felt because you met all these great people and you connected with so many different people. But the truth is that every time you need to plan an event, you think about, okay, well, who am I going to call? How am I going to search? What is all the filtering that I need to go through? And imagine in a world where you just type, I want to plan a Christmas party for my friends. And then boom, you have a template. With one click, you see the best suppliers that will provide that experience for you. And then everyone associated with that is just going to vibe. And then essentially that's what we're all about. I think it's like we want not just to make the life easy of everyone that's planning events, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we enable this person to provide amazing experiences to everyone else. And this is not just in North America, but also as we're starting to expand worldwide. Ashley asked, what tech stack are we using? We are using our backend is fairly I would say like vanilla. We're basically using Firebase, and then we're also using like React Native and JavaScript. Those are kind of like the main stacks that we're using front end and back end. So that's pretty much it. We are starting to become a little bit more robust in terms of technologies as well, but that's kind of how our front end is really like that's how our stack is composed today.
Brendan, in terms of wedding, like we actually started by doing wedding, and that was our first thing, and that was just such a complicated sell. Like you don't know who's the buyer. That was really hard. That's a big market though. Our vision in the future is to standardize the way events are booked. So a bit what Booking.com did 30 years ago, and find a way where you could standardize the booking for the hotel industry. We want to do that for the event industry, and that doesn't exist so far. But we decided to start with enterprise because it was just way easier to get repeat. We really well understand those clients. And that's an easy way to bring liquidity to our supplier. But yes, in the future, we see ourselves helping for weddings and also baby showers or any types of events. Yeah, for sure. Lucky, yeah, for sure. We're always looking for talents, and we have key member in our team right now who actually started as intern, and let's say Madison started as an intern two years ago, and she's heading up her supply department so far. So yeah, 100%. Brendan, you can still come in the platform, and we'll tell the team to help you to find a space. We're not refusing them, but we're just really not focusing on that.
But hey, Brendan, on that note, there is a full self-service experience in the platform that you can actually just go through and make sure that you can, reach out to the suppliers that you think you might need, but also even get inspiration to make the most out of your event as well. So, I mean, out of the wedding, of course. Part of the reason why, just for context as to why we're not doubling down on weddings for now, is just because hopefully weddings are only going to happen once in your lifetime. We don't see weddings happening every single day. I mean, at least within the same people. So that's part of the reason why, from a business standpoint, we're doubling down on corporate events, team building activities, conferences, networking, cocktails, and just creating as many repeat users from those, which is essentially driving our flywheel. Given that we have all the data that's gathered on what we know works best, and really putting together the growth formula on the best suppliers for specific event types anywhere.
Tommy, for the remote option, you could actually start in remote, but we're trying to create a company actually from Montreal. We might open office pod one day. Like we used to have an office in New York and in Toronto before, but we took that decision of building that hybrid culture where we expect people to come 2 days at the office. For us, that was just the best way to create a strong culture. And we're selling in-person events, so that's kind of a decision we took. But you could actually start remote. And if you have a good time, then you can move to Montreal a couple of months later when you're sure that's a good fit for you. Biggest engineering problem. Working on, I guess right now we're at a stage where we need to go faster. And we build a monolith. We're trying to build a bit more microservices. We're trying to improve the velocity while keeping the quality. So I guess it's the usual engineering issue, but we're really facing that. One thing also is that my partner and I were not technical co-founders, so right now we don't have any CTO, or we don't have yet a VP engineering. We have someone who will help us on that front, but we're scaling our engineering team to 3 teams in the next month, so actually 12 engineers. So I would say right now it's more people problem. We need to find that strong VP engineering. So that's our biggest, not issue, but challenge, I would say.
Yeah, just add on the engineering challenge as well. Like the moat is really architecture. And we want to build an architecture that can be sustainable and support the growth that we're expecting in the long term. And I think that's kind of the thing to make sure that we're able to put all the pieces together and build things without breaking others.
Chiara, yes, we're actually looking for interns this summer. That you could possibly do it remote. So please reach out to Tiago and I. But we like every summer we bring interns. So would love to talk more with you for sure.
Yeah, feel free to message me on LinkedIn, and I'll happy to answer any questions as well on that. So I guess if there's no questions from the audience, I guess I'll ask Mark a question about culture, just for everyone to be more aware of it as well. But I think, Mark, looking at how much the culture has evolved with COVID and looking, seeing where we're going in the next coming years, what's something that's very important for you to maintain from all the learnings that you've had when starting Plan 4 years ago?
Like I started Plan out of university. Like I was still at school for the first year. So to be honest, I never worked in a company before Plan. So for the first 2 years, we were so adamant about building a good product, building relationship with clients, but we were never really thinking about the culture. So we wake up one morning and the culture was okay, but was not 100% the culture we wanted to build. So that time we were so adamant about the culture we wanted to build, which is around like talent density, but we also have other points like we're all about impact, all about having people with strong empathy and things like that. And I think the best way to cultivate that culture is to make sure in your hiring process you're optimizing for culture over everything else. So that's something we do right now. We're really systematic. We will interview 30% for each role, but we make sure every single time we find the perfect fit, at least culture-wise. So I think that was our biggest learning. We'll make sure to give promotion to people who fit well the culture, because people look at who you promote. And if you promote people that push the right culture, then people will want to follow those examples. So, and I think that's going to be really important that we continue to hire those right type of people forever, but especially in the next 80, the next 50 years, because they're going to be the people going to promote that culture for the rest of the SRF Plan.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So maybe
yeah, go ahead.
Maybe one question for you, like what was the thing you prefer about the team and something that's different than in the other company you worked before?
I think part of the reason why I joined Plan in the first place is just because of the dedication that everyone has to, and commitment to making this work. I think that's, you know, you won't see a lot of contrarian founders in a way where everyone wants to build what's hype, everyone's talking about Web3, NFTs and everything, but this is like a real problem. This is like a real need. And everyone was kind of like going against that because a lot of people are just following these like trends that you see it happening all the time. But to me, what's really most exciting is the fact that everyone is given an opportunity to succeed. So when you think about what's the story that I want to tell in 10 years from today, and it's like, yes, I was the one that joined a company really early on, and I was the one that was able to scale it to a multi-million, billion-dollar company. And I did X, Y, and Z. And there's not a lot of people, especially in Canada, that have the skill sets or even have gone through these like growth periods. And joining a company where you're literally less than 25 people that just raised 25 million, it's, if you think about it, it's almost $1 million per person in the company at the current stage that we're in. And if you think about what we're going to be in like in a year from today, or in 5 years from today, or in 100 years from today, it's just really going to be exciting to see like the impact that we're going to have, not just North America wise, but worldwide. But most importantly, to be able to look back and it's like, yes, I was the person 10th at this company, and now we're 10,000. And I think that's kind of like what's very unique about this, because looking at the overall ecosystem, you don't see lots of like growth stories like this.
That was a good answer.
Yeah. So Jay, everyone else, see we have 30 seconds here. Feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn. I'm gonna need to drop off, but happy to answer anything and talk about plans all the time.
Thank you so much for all your time, and reach out to us on LinkedIn, or you can always poke us also on the chat in the platform if you have questions. We're fast to answer. We'll answer every one of
Everyone.
you who reach
Yeah.
out. So thank you.